Have you ever felt your emotions hijack your mind? Anger, frustration, anxiety, those feelings that take over and control you like puppets on strings. But what if I told you? You could take back the reins. What if you could walk through life unbothered, no matter what people throw your way? In today's video, we're diving deep into the powerful art of mastering emotional control and staying unshaken in the face of chaos. This isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about transforming them into strength. Welcome to Stoic Techniques, where we take timeless wisdom and apply it to our modern lives for ultimate freedom and self-mastery. If you're ready to elevate your mindset, hit that like button, comment your empowering phrase below, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's unlock the secrets of unshakable emotional control. Number 1. The power of emotional detachment. Emotions. They can either be a source of strength or a prison, depending on how we choose to handle them. Every day, we encounter events that can trigger strong emotional reactions. A sharp word from a colleague, a social media post that stirs anger, or a minor inconvenience that throws off our entire mood. In those moments, it can feel like our emotions are in control, dictating our actions and thoughts. But here's the most liberating truth. We can choose how to respond. This is where Stoicism steps in with a powerful principle called apatheia, which translates to emotional detachment. Now, emotional detachment doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It's about developing the ability to experience emotions without letting them dictate your behavior. Imagine how powerful it would be if you could walk through life unshaken, no matter the chaos around you. No matter what people say, no matter what life throws at you, you remain calm, focused, and in control. That is the essence of apatheia. The key to mastering emotional detachment is understanding the idea that external events are neutral. It's not the event itself that makes us feel angry, stressed, or upset. It's the meaning we attach to it. For example, when someone insults you, their words are simply words. It's your interpretation of those words that generates anger or hurt. If you step back and ask yourself, what does this comment really mean? You'll see that it's not a reflection of you, but of that person's own issues. When you can detach your emotions from the external stimulus, you stop letting others' actions control how you feel. The Stoics believed that the power to control your emotions lies in your ability to change your perception of situations. The first step is perspective. When you're faced with a challenge or a situation that triggers negative emotions, ask yourself, is this as important as it feels right now? A negative comment or a minor failure might sting in the moment, but does it define your worth? Does it affect your long-term happiness? Likely not. In the grand scheme of things, most of the things that upset us are temporary. By shifting your perspective, you detach from the emotional weight that these situations try to impose. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you suppress or deny your emotions. It means you choose how to respond to them. It's about becoming aware of your emotional triggers and understanding that you don't have to react automatically. Instead, you can take a step back, process the situation calmly, and choose a response that aligns with your goals, values, and peace of mind. To put this into practice, the next time you face a challenge, a criticism, or an insult, instead of reacting impulsively, pause. Ask yourself, what's really going on here? Could this be an opportunity for growth? Is this someone else projecting their negativity? Or is it just a passing moment that doesn't need to affect you? The more you practice this, the more you'll begin to detach from automatic reactions and gain control over your emotions. Mastering emotional detachment is a skill that takes time and consistent practice. But every time you choose awareness over impulsive reaction, you get a little closer to emotional freedom. If you're ready to take control of your emotions, comment below saying, I am unshaken. And don't forget to like this video. Emotional detachment is the first step toward true emotional mastery. Number 2, Mastering your inner dialogue, dark psychology twist. Your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful forces shaping your emotional state. The thoughts you tell yourself determine how you perceive the world and how you respond to it. Think about it. Every time you face a challenge or an obstacle, what's the first thing that runs through your mind? I can't do this. I'm not good enough. This is too hard. These thoughts often spiral out of control, creating a feedback loop of negative emotions and self-doubt. But what if I told you that you have the power to take control of your inner dialogue, and in doing so, take control of your emotions? This is where the principles of dark psychology and Stoicism intersect. In dark psychology, there's a concept called self-talk, the inner narrative we create about ourselves, our abilities, and the world around us. While dark psychology often focuses on manipulating others, here we're going to use this knowledge to manipulate our own minds, to reframe the way we think, shift our perceptions, and gain control over our emotional state. Think about a time when you were about to do something difficult, a presentation, a challenging conversation, or perhaps a moment where you felt vulnerable. What did your inner voice say? Probably something like, "You're going to fail," or "You'll look stupid." The problem with this type of self-talk is that it sets you up for failure before you even begin. It feeds your anxiety, amplifies your fear, and distorts your reality. But here's the dark psychology twist. You can change your self-talk. The first step is to recognize that these thoughts are not facts. They're merely stories you're telling yourself. In Stoicism, we call this perception. What's important is not the event itself, but how we choose to interpret it. When your inner voice says, "I can't do this," challenge it with, "What if I could? What if this is an opportunity for growth?" Rather than letting self-doubt rule, you can intentionally reframe your thoughts to be more empowering. The Stoics were masters at this. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about the importance of controlling the stories we tell ourselves. He would remind himself that every challenge was an opportunity to practice virtue. Whether it was a difficult person or a tough situation, Aurelius didn't view it as something to fear. He saw it as a chance to grow stronger. So, what does this mean for you? It means that when your mind starts spiraling into negativity, you have the power to reframe that narrative. If you're afraid of failure, remind yourself that failure is simply feedback. If you're anxious about a situation, tell yourself that anxiety is just your body preparing for action, not something to fear. In dark psychology, this concept is called cognitive reframing, the ability to change your mental perspective to alter how you feel. By choosing to reframe your inner dialogue, you turn fear into confidence, doubt into determination, and anxiety into excitement. For example, let's say you have a big presentation coming up. Instead of telling yourself, "I'm going to mess this up," try saying, "I've prepared for this. I have the skills to succeed, and this is my chance to shine." By shifting your thoughts, you shift your emotional state. And when your emotions are in your control, you become the one in control of your life. If you're ready to master your inner dialogue and reframe your mindset, leave a comment below saying, "I am the master of my mind," and hit that like button. Remember, your thoughts shape your reality. Choose them wisely. Number 3, the power of perception, Stoic mindset. Have you ever stopped to consider that your perception of the world is shaping your emotional experience more than the world itself? Think about it. Two people can experience the same event, an argument, a setback, a disappointment, but one can walk away feeling defeated, while the other remains calm and unfazed. What's the difference between these two reactions? It's perception. In Stoicism, one of the core principles is that external events themselves have no inherent meaning. It is our judgment of those events that determines how we feel. The Stoics believed that our power lies not in controlling what happens to us, but in controlling how we interpret it. And this, my friends, is where the true power of perception comes in. Take, for example, a situation where you face criticism from a boss, a colleague, or even a loved one. Most people might immediately feel defensive, hurt, or angry. Why? Because they perceive that criticism as a personal attack. But what if you changed your perspective? What if instead of seeing it as an insult, you saw it as constructive feedback, a chance to improve? By adjusting your perception, you can transform a potentially negative situation into a powerful opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often reflected on this concept. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This is a game-changing realization. Our happiness, our emotional state, is not dependent on what happens to us. It's dependent on how we choose to perceive it. But here's the catch. Perception is not something that just happens. It's something you actively cultivate. It's easy to fall into the trap of reactive thinking, where you let emotions take the wheel. But Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to change our lens. When faced with a challenge, you can choose to see it as an obstacle, or you can choose to see it as an opportunity. When someone criticizes you, you can choose to feel attacked, or you can choose to see it as a mirror of their own insecurities. Let's say you're in a stressful situation. Maybe you're running late, or things aren't going according to plan. In that moment, you can either get frustrated and lose control, or you can pause, step back and say, "This is just one moment. It does not define my entire day or my peace of mind." The more you practice this, the more you'll start to realize that the world doesn't make you upset. The world reflects how you choose to see it. This is the core of Stoic thinking. We are in control of our perceptions, and when we control how we see things, we also control how we feel about them. This kind of mindset makes you unshakable. When you stop assigning negative meaning to events, you stop letting them control your emotional state. So, how do you start using perception as a tool for emotional control? The next time life throws you a curveball, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what am I choosing to see here? Is this really as bad as it feels? Or can I reframe it into something constructive? If you're ready to transform your perception and take control of your emotional world, leave a comment below saying, "I see with clarity," and hit that like button. Remember, you can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you interpret it. Number 4, building unshakable confidence, the Stoic approach. Confidence. It's something that can seem elusive, especially when life throws obstacles your way. But what if I told you that confidence isn't something you need to build from the outside in? What if instead it's something that's already inside you, just waiting to be uncovered? That's exactly what Stoicism teaches. Confidence isn't about external validation or avoiding failure. It's about mastering your inner world. At its core, unshakable confidence comes from a deep understanding of who you are, what you stand for, and what's truly within your control. The Stoics, like Seneca and Epictetus, understood that true confidence doesn't come from seeking approval or avoiding mistakes. It comes from knowing that you are resilient and capable, no matter the circumstances. The first step in building confidence is self-awareness. When you understand what you value, what your strengths are, and what you can control, you begin to develop an inner sense of stability that isn't dependent on external factors. Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this is the key to confidence. Think about it. When you're confident in your ability to handle life's challenges, you become less afraid of making mistakes or facing rejection. You understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply part of the process of learning and growing. This shift in mindset is powerful because it removes the pressure of needing to be perfect, allowing you to take risks, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace challenges with a clear mind. Let's say you're about to go into a job interview or present in front of a crowd. Many people struggle with nerves because they worry about what others will think of them. But true confidence doesn't come from impressing others. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will handle it. Even if you don't get the job or you make a mistake during the presentation, you've learned something valuable. That understanding that you can handle whatever comes your way is the foundation of unshakable confidence. This is the Stoic way, to focus not on the outcome, but on your character and your ability to face whatever comes with grace. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote about the importance of remembering that we are not judged by the world's standards, but by how we handle ourselves in the face of adversity. When you embrace this mindset, you become unshakable. You stop relying on others' opinions to determine your worth. To put this into practice, the next time you face a challenging situation, whether it's a presentation, a tough conversation, or a major decision, ask yourself, what is within my control here? What can I learn from this experience? By shifting your focus to what you can control, you empower yourself to take action with confidence, regardless of the outcome. Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about being resilient. It's about trusting in your ability to handle life's ups and downs, no matter what they are. And the more you practice this, the more confident you'll become. If you're ready to build unshakable confidence from within, leave a comment below saying, "I am confident in my strength." And don't forget to like this video. Remember, true confidence comes from knowing who you are and what you're capable of. Number 5, turning adversity into strength, the Stoic resilience formula. Adversity, it's something we all face. Life doesn't always go as planned, and sometimes it feels like everything is stacked against us. Yet, what if I told you that adversity doesn't have to break you? What if, instead, it could build you? This is where Stoicism teaches its most powerful lesson. Adversity is an opportunity for growth. And the more resilient you become in the face of life's challenges, the stronger you'll get, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This is one of the cornerstones of Stoic resilience. The Stoics believe that challenges aren't something to avoid, they're something to embrace. Why? Because they teach us the most important lessons we could ever learn: patience, perseverance, and the ability to adapt. Think about the toughest challenges you've faced in life. Maybe it was a personal loss, a financial setback, or a failure you experienced in your career or relationships. Now take a moment to reflect on how those challenges shaped you. Did they break you? Or did you grow stronger, more focused, and more determined to succeed? The truth is, if you're reading this, you're still here. And that means you've overcome challenges before, and you will again. This is the Stoic mindset at its core. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Life is always going to present you with difficulties, but you get to decide whether those difficulties will destroy you or build you. Let's explore a powerful technique from dark psychology: reframing adversity. In dark psychology, reframing is the ability to change the way we interpret a situation to gain control over our emotions and actions. The same concept is central to Stoicism. When faced with hardship, instead of seeing it as a burden, you can choose to see it as a challenge. Not something to fear, but something to conquer. Every setback, every obstacle is an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. The Stoics didn't view obstacles as roadblocks. They viewed them as training grounds. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle itself is the path forward. It's not a distraction. It's part of the journey. Every difficulty you face is an invitation to grow, to become more resilient, and to deepen your understanding of yourself. Now, how do you apply this to your own life? The next time you encounter adversity, instead of feeling defeated or frustrated, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is this challenge trying to teach me? Whether it's a tough conversation, a failure, or an unexpected setback, shift your mindset from seeing it as something to avoid to something to embrace. Use it as an opportunity to strengthen your character, expand your abilities, and deepen your resilience. By adopting this mindset, you transform every hardship into a stepping stone for your personal growth. You stop seeing obstacles as things that are happening to you and start seeing them as things that are happening for you. If you're ready to turn every adversity into strength, leave a comment below saying, "I grow through challenges," and make sure to hit that like button. Remember, every challenge you face is an opportunity to build your resilience and grow stronger than ever before.